It's time for your daily crypto update with Framework Fortune Crypto. I'm your host, Ben. Now let's dive in. Bitcoin did break all the way up to that 37 area where I was expecting, to the 200-day. Didn't quite get there to test it, but real close, and then had a sell-off, tested that 50-day moving average, but we have a head and shoulders pattern on the 4 hour. So if you don't know what that is, this would be an arm, shoulder, head with the high tip point up here, another shoulder that is evenly right across there, and then the other arm down. So the head and shoulders pattern is pretty much completed. We are trying to hold 33,000 now as some support. Take the line, draw it right across here, and you see multiple times where these candles hit as resistance. This held as support there, held as resistance and support there. So it did dip below it, but currently back above it. We're going to need to see a bounce off of this 33,000 for Bitcoin to come back up and test that 200 and that 37,000 area again. We could just continue to sideways consolidate. Right through here, this whole area that we've been in since May 18th, since the big drop happened, we have just been going sideways in this channel between 30,000 and 40,000. We're on the lower end now, but we are building some recent higher lows here. This low here, and now this recent higher low, if this can hold. So I do expect within the next week or two for Bitcoin to try to get back up to that 40,000 again. If it starts coming back down to these low areas, this 30,000, we could see it drop below 30,000. Ethereum did get up over that little resistance for just a little bit. Almost tested that 200-day moving average, but having a pullback along with Bitcoin. Not quite as bad as a pullback. We don't have the head and shoulders here on the 4 hour, and it's holding up the 50-day like I was expecting because it held it up right here. So we'll probably get a bounce up to try to test this 2,300 maybe tomorrow or sometime this weekend. But Ethereum not looking too bad at the moment. Today's top gainer, we got MLN. This was all the way down here at this 65 area, having a nice rip, 20 crossing the 50, and it exploded over the 100-day all the way up to 88. Having a little pullback here on this candle, right to this $80 support. You can draw the line straight across there, where it bounced off there, held a support there for a little bit, and then bounced off here a couple other times. So that support is trying to hold. If that support can hold, that'd be very nice for this play. I would expect another run out of it up to 100. If that support can't hold, then it could drop down to the 100 EMA right here, or maybe back to this 73 area right across there. Next, StormX STMX. If you would have bought back here at a penny when I've been talking about this thing, any money you would have put in here at a penny would be doubled right now. It is all the way up here back to that 2-cent area where it likes to be at. So it is getting held up a little bit at the 200 currently. 20 has crossed the 50 and the 100, but it is trying to hold support right there across the 200 and this uptrend. So getting back above the uptrend and consolidating right now, I think StormX is starting to go bullish. We may see StormX up to 3, 4, 5 cents here in the next week or two. AMP still going sideways, basically just consolidating right on top of the support at 5.5 like it has been doing. Until that turns around and starts testing some resistance areas, it's just either going to drop here soon or it's going to have a rebound off of that area, push back up. No clear sign at the moment because it is just such sideways movement. So my drawing for this triangle for Cardano is either a little bit off or it cracked out of it and it's not doing much. Now sometimes with triangles you'll see a lot of rejection here towards the tip, and then you get like a little drop, and sometimes it'll just consolidate sideways and then the big rip will come after. So that may be what's happening with this triangle. Or it is possible too that I have it drawn wrong and it could be more like this. We still have room in the tip. Either way, I still think Cardano is going to jump up and try to test this 200-day moving average, this 140 area, and probably this weekend. Tezos could be one to keep an eye on here on the 4 hour. 20's crossed the 50. The 20's almost crossed the 100. It's been holding the 100-day of support pretty well. So all these EMAs are here and they've been holding. If it can break back over 3, it has room up to 325 at this 200-day moving average. So a little bit of space in there to get some profits on a quick swing trade or maybe even a day trade. Shiba Inu, after its nice little run, having a pretty decent sized pullback, but it's still holding above all of these EMAs and it's still trying to hold the 20 at the moment. We do have this little downtrend going on, so breaking this downtrend, Shiba could start moving again to try to test that resistance. If it doesn't hold here, it'll probably drop to these EMAs and those should hold because they're all together, smashed together. Gitcoin has made a head and shoulders pattern just like Bitcoin. Here's the arm, shoulder, head, shoulder. Gitcoin could sell off completing this arm back down to the $6 area. It's currently trying to hold up around 675, but if it does hold up here, it'll be running back into both of these EMAs as resistance. So it'll have to get some good buying volume to break through there. Volume has gotten kind of light after the initial run up, so we'll see what happens. Currently in the middle of the RSI. NMR had a big pop up to 43 and then it's just sold off since. Basically a straight downtrend right now on this. Until this downtrend breaks, NMR is going to continue to ride down it. Does have the 50 and the 20-day right there, so that may hold up as some support and we may see a bounce and break. But at 200 days, still acting pretty pesky. $38 resistance and $40 resistance. So Atom did come up and test the 200. Tried to come up again, but got smashed at that $12 area. Currently holding up the 50-day. Getting a little squeeze here between the 50 and the 20. Looks like it's going to hold this 50. That should be pretty strong support. Even if it drops below it, you got $10.50 and then $10. So if it does pull back, $10 could be another buying opportunity on this. If it holds here, we could see it back up to that 1265 area, 1275, where it's been getting hung up at. CGLD currently breaking out as I'm recording. Went below all the EMAs for just a second, now pushed back above them. Running into about 350 resistance right now. If it can break that though, it's got room all the way back up to this 470 area. This is a very low circulating supply, so this thing can rip when it gets volume into it. And it looks like volume's starting to come back into it. So this is definitely one to keep on watch. Broke this downtrend right there. Ethereum Classic did break out of this triangle I was talking about yesterday. Got all the way up to 63. So if you played this, very nice job. Since that pop, it's been on a downtrend, but trying to hold up these EMAs. 200's right there. 20 is right there. A lot of support below Ethereum Classic. So I would expect a bounce off of these areas for Ethereum Classic to start pushing up again. Polygon MATIC once again getting held up in this 115 area. That's very strong resistance, so still in this little consolidation sideways. Coming all the way down to $1.08. That bottom support's at $1. There may be a little support around $1.05. But this needs to show a little strength and push back up to that 115. It's really struggling here last couple of days at this 115 area. And even back here on the chart, you can see it was struggling there. So we need to see a strong break of $1.15 for MATIC. Now there's a lot of news headlines going around for the crypto market right now. Some bad, some good. A lot of controversy. Things happening, things moving, and that's okay. This is all a new sector. Well, sector's not a good word for it. It's basically a whole new world, Aladdin style. So there's going to be issues, there's going to be speed bumps, but just because there's speed bumps doesn't mean that the ride comes to an end. Things just slow down and then they speed back up after the speed bump. So if there's any coins I'm not currently covering, let me know in the comments down below and let me know your thoughts on the coins that I am covering currently. Appreciate everybody joining me. Stay safe out there. Until next time.